Yo, what's up guys, it's DJRickWeb. Welcome back to the channel. As you guys saw from the preview clip, or a lot of you guys probably saw on Instagram at DJRickWeb, right there. I got contacted to do a Christmas light show on a house, and we did it Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So, well, Christmas Eve night and Christmas Day night. Obviously, it's gotta be dark to do the light show. Basically, I'm gonna walk you guys through what I did and show you guys some footage of the setup when I was doing it, and then show you the whole show. So, first off though, let's go through all the details of how this worked. Alright guys, to start off here, I want to go to the computer screen to show you guys the back end stuff of how this works. So everything's running through Show Express. That's how I set up this whole entire light show. And let's just start from scratch, how I started designing this light show. So first thing I did on the screen right here, as you can see, is a picture of the house. So when I'm looking at the house, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be putting my individual light channels. So, and when I'm doing a light show, when it comes to doing like these Christmas light shows and stuff, I've done a few of these in the past, but I'm doing this directly to the music. As you'll see, we'll design this to be directly to the music. So one cool thing I saw off the get-go, I'm like, we have a bunch of windows here that are evenly spaced. So I could use that for like a keyboard. So it could work for being like a keyboard on a piano or something like that to these Christmas songs. So we have 8 gaps here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 gaps, so we're going to need 8 individual light channels right there. We're going to be using wireless uplights for all of these lights, so we're going to be using the ones I have, which are the Chinese ones from Both Lighting. They're hex uplights. They have plenty of battery, so we can set up the show, run it all night, quickly grab all the lights, charge them overnight, and put them back out. But right now I'm just creating the layout. I'm designing the layout of where all the lights are going to be put, and each one of these are going to be individual DMX addresses. If you guys have seen my previous DMXing videos, I typically normally do just like 2 DMX channels for like all the uplights in a room, and that's because it's a DJ environment. For this, I'm getting very, very custom. I'm going to be designing this exactly to the music, and it's going to be very detailed and take a lot of time, to say the least. So we're going to be putting individual lights on all these 8 spots, and each one of those are going to be an individual DMX channel. So we're going to have 8 individual DMX channels right there. These lights are 10 DMX channels in total, so that's a total of 80 channels right there that are going to be used just on the house alone. The next thing, I kind of wanted to split up these trees. So there's actually a tree back here in the back that you can't really see, but I wanted to light that tree up and this tree up, and those were going to be like my middle trees. Each one of those individual DMX addresses, so we have 2 trees right there, and then these front 3 I did individually. So these 2 were the same, so I just did 2 lights that are going to be on the same DMX channel, did another one right here, and another one right here. This tree back here doesn't look it, but this tree is huge, so I actually used 2 uplights to light it up, and this one back here is also huge, so I used 2 uplights to light that one up as well. But DMX channels, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For a total of 13 DMX channels, 130 DMX channels that were going to be occupied just on this show alone. And we're going to be using a total of 16 uplights. That's what I was going for, just 2 cases of uplights. I got 8 in the case, so bring all 16, set them up, charge them, etc. So that was the initial stages of the design. Then we move on to Show Express. So the first thing in Show Express, I had to go to Editor and go to Fixtures because I needed to put in all of the fixtures that I'm going to be using, all the individual DMX channels. So this looks kind of crazy because I have a lot of other lights in here, but I kind of put it over here on the side. These are my 8 lights. So I use this on the right hand side to kind of lay out my lights as how they're going to be in the yard. So these are the 8 that are on the back wall, and you can see it's highlighting the actual DMX channels these correspond to down below. These are the wireless hex uplights. And then we have our trees up front. So this is what allows me to create all my scenes and know where all my lights are. These are my front 3 trees, these are my 2 mids, and these are my 8 back uplights. Very, very easy to do. And now that we have that, we can move on to the live window. So if you go to live, I normally use buttons. You guys know I use these button panels. That's what I've shown in my Show Express videos before. So if you don't understand Show Express or anything, this is going to get really complicated. So please go back. I have a whole 3-part series on how to DMX in Show Express. Yes, this is not the newest version of Show Express. You definitely can, it's similar. The new version, it just looks prettier. It doesn't look as archaic as the old version. I like the old version because it's stable. It works. So this is Show Express, and inside of the live window, we have buttons, and then we have timeline, and then we have sequential list. So typically not using timeline. Typically I'm using buttons for DJ events, but when I'm doing something like a light show, I'm going to use sequential list. So I'm going to open up my sequential list, and as you can see right there, I have two files, Christmas 2020 and Christmas 2020 backup. And that's crucial. When you're doing these programs, these get very labor intensive on the processors to be able to save these shows when you start getting into like the 5-minute plus range of these very intricate sequences. So always create yourself a copy or a backup file and save in between. Trust me, it saved my life when I did that, because I crashed the regular one and had to go to the backup, and now I have them back up. So always create a backup file, save to both when you're doing this multiple times while you're doing this, because this thing, I think I haven't touched on it yet. This took 6 hours to do. This took 6 hours to program a 7-minute light show. So we're going to open it up right now. All right, so the first thing I did, like I said, is I made a music mashup. So this is a 7-minute music mashup. We have All I Want for Christmas. We have some Trans-Siberian Orchestra songs in there. We have The Grinch. So I made a little music mashup. It's literally 7 minutes, almost to the dot long. And then I imported it into the audio timeline, so that way I have the audio. So that way I can start programming. Now, when you do this, what we're going to be doing is very similar to our buttons. We're going to be importing scenes. So when you're doing this, you're creating a lot of scenes. So each one of these is different scenes that you will create in the editor. So for example, these right here, these are the dun 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 dun. Here, I can play it real quick. Dun 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 dun. And all these are individual lights. So this one right here, this scene right here, is just that first light on the left turning white. So if I go to edit, so this is piano, I called it piano 1. So this is piano 1, piano 2, etc. So these go through all the different ones. So I have just white on the first one, second one, third one, and basically you just import them. So if I was doing this program right here, and right here is all house fades in red. So if I wanted to edit it, I could click on the edit. And then if I highlight all the front lights, you'll see that they are set to be red. So this is just like we do in normal Show Express in the previous videos to create scenes. This right here is just the red fades up. So if we press play, you probably won't see it, but we have all the lights on red on, and we have our fader down here set to fade on instead of being a hard cut. So that is how I created that little sequence right there. If we go back to the sequential and we go to like this one right here, we'll see that all of these lights are not on until we get to number 10. So number 10 right here, which corresponds to this light right here in my order, is turning white. So I would go in, I would click Save As, and add this scene. So let's say I want to create a new one real quick, just for reference on how you would do this. We're going to create a new scene, and I want to do all the lights in the whole entire show. So I want the whole front 8. I'm pressing Control when I select these. So Control, select, 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 select. So these are all my lights in this show. And I'm going to group the fixtures. So this button up here is a group and ungroup button. So right now they're all grouped. So I'm going to raise the fader on all of them. So that's my master dimmer. And I'm going to make them all amber. And then I don't want it to fade in. I want it to be hard cut. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go to Save Scene As. And as you can see right here, I create a folder called Christmas Project. And these are all the different scenes that I was using in this. So I created, let's see how many scenes we created for this light show. I don't know if I can select all these. I can't select all of these. It's a lot of scenes though. As you can see right there, it's a lot of different scenes. So I'm going to call this Amber All Save. So I would create that scene, and then I would go back to my live window right here, and I would right click, and then I would click Add Pop Off Lights, or Pop Up Add Light Scene, yeah, etc. And then I'm already in the Christmas project folder, but if it wasn't, it would be right here. Go to Christmas project, and I would look for Amber All. I could search for it as well. So we go Amber All, click open, and now it's added it into the sequence. But as you can see right here, it continues on forever until it gets to another one in the timeline. So you have 4 lanes of timeline, and you could add more. Trust me, I'm not the greatest at doing this programming. There's definitely way better guys. My boy Doug, SLM Entertainment, could probably teach me a thing or two about this. But say I wanted it to come on and come off very soon, I would add an off. So it would apply this scene and then it would turn it off. And I can make it as long or as short as I want. And as you can see, that's how I did all these. Basically, they would go, then turn off, go, then turn off. You could also put these all in the same line, I believe. But this is how I did it. So I'm going to delete these real quick. You just press that and then click delete. Control X. And so this is the whole show. So as you can see, it got really intricate, and you can copy and paste in this. So certain sequences are very similar. I just did copy and pasting to create all of them. But as you can see, it gets kind of complicated throughout this. But basically, I just sat there, had all the lights turned on in the garage, and was literally going through and programming the whole entire show as I saw it. So when I was doing the show, so say at the beginning here, just to get you in the mindset, and this is where the creativity comes into making the slideshow. It's all up to your creativity. Like I said from the beginning, I wanted to do these is like a piano. So I was like, at the beginning, it's like a ding, 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 ding. And I was like, okay, we'll do white, 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 and then we'll split it out. So that's what I did. I went in and created the scenes and then had it go ding, 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 ding. And then when the crescendo hit, or right here where it goes right there at the opening, I wanted that to be a very dramatic thing. So we're starting off very subtle, which is the ding, 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 ding. I wanted it to be very dramatic. So I wanted to basically make the whole house turn red. And I'm saving stuff too. That was kind of my mindset when I was creating this show. It gets more intricate, it gets more creative, and more exciting as the show goes on, as you would do with any show. I wanted it to be very subtle at the beginning, and then more hype, more energy, the longer the show went on towards the very end. So at the beginning there, I just wanted to show off that the house could be all the same color, so I bring it all in red, change it to green, blue, etc., as you guys will see in the show. So yeah, this was the back end side. This is what I spent 6 hours doing, programming the whole show. And then day of, when I show up, all I had to do was set up my laptop with the Show Express box and the wireless DMX transmitter. Wired DMX would be way more preferred in this situation, but for it was cold outside and all the circumstances of what I was doing, it was a lot easier and a lot more affordable and quicker and easy to do with just wireless uplights. So that's what I did. I would definitely have done this with waterproof lights and do it in a hardwired application if this was something that I was setting up for the whole entire holiday season. Like I said, this was just something we set up that night, tore it down, set it back up the next night. It literally took 10 minutes to set up. Literally just turn the lights on, drop them around at all the different locations, make sure the DMX addresses are set correct based on this, and then you're good to go. So I had a table inside with the laptop, as you'll see, that was running Show Express. The Show Express module was hooked into it. We ran the wireless DMX right outside the window. We ran an XLR cable out the front door to a JBL Eon 1 compact, little battery-powered speaker. So the whole system was battery-powered, and it ran all night with no issues. So there you guys go, and enjoy some setup footage and enjoy this show. This is the back end right here, running Show Express. Got the whole entire sequence made. Inside, just got it set up on a table, and the wireless DMX transmitter is right outside the window. So like I told you guys, the wireless DMX transmitter is right here, just kind of tucked outside the window. JBL Eon 1 compact doing the music, all battery powered. Should have no problem playing all night. Run an XLR cable inside here, and then we have Chinese bars everywhere. So there's some up here on the trees, there's some obviously up there as well, and the whole show's going.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is Mr. Grinch, you really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.